Well, hi there everyone and welcome to the channel. I've got a really delicious recipe for you today for some stovetop enchiladas. You could definitely put these in the oven if you prefer. I'm going to be using a lot of my Thrive Life ingredients and some corn tortillas. I also have an enchilada sauce mix that I'll show y'all in just a minute. Now, traditional beef enchiladas are just going to have some ground beef, maybe some onions and cheese inside the tortilla. I'm going to do a little bit different version today. I'm going to put some refried beans in there as well as some veggies. I'm putting up on the screen a list of the ingredients that you would need to make these. I'll put the exact measurements and the cooking instructions in the description box below the video. In order to make enchiladas, you need to prepare the tortillas. So that's a stack of corn tortillas, and you have to either put them in some sort of oil or sauce or something in order to be able to roll the enchiladas. If you don't do this step, they will just tear and split and you won't have enchiladas. You'll just have a big mess. My favorite way to treat the corn tortillas is to flash fry them. So what I do is I just get a little bit of avocado oil, I put it on about medium heat, and I flash fry these about 5 seconds per side, and I usually do side 1, side 2, and then side 1 again. Drain off the excess oil and then just stack them on a plate. Now, I only had 6 tortillas, and this recipe is really supposed to be for 8 enchiladas. It should feed, 3 or 4 people. But anyway, I only had 6 tortillas, so I'm going to work with what I have. Now let me show you how I make the beef filling for the enchiladas. First, I pulse some ground beef. It just gives you a better texture. And now, like I mentioned, I'm going to add some refried beans. This is not traditional. Most of the time, the refried beans are served on the side. But I decided, hey, it's my recipe. I can do what I want here. I'm going to add some refried beans to my filling. Also, I'm going to add some tomatoes, some green chilies, onions, and potatoes. These ingredients are actually what I typically put in my picadillo recipe. So picadillo is a taco filling that we use here in the San Antonio area. It's got the chilies and the tomatoes and a few potatoes in it. It might sound a little bit funny, but it adds a really nice creamy texture to your ground beef. So I love picadillo, and this recipe here is kind of a cross between a picadillo, a beef enchilada filling, and then with some extra refried beans thrown in there. And it's just a delicious filling for your enchiladas. So I put everything in kind of a medium-large skillet there, and I've added 1 cup of water. All I'm doing here is trying to refresh these ingredients. I'm just going to let them sit there for a while. Now let me show you how I make the sauce. You need a really good enchilada sauce. And in my cookbook, this is on page 84, I've got a recipe for a beef enchilada casserole, all right? So I'm going to be using the sauce recipe from that recipe. I typically will put together a large batch of the enchilada sauce mix and keep it on my pantry shelf in a mason jar. And whenever I need to make this, for about every cup of sauce I need, I will get 2.5 tablespoons of the mix, and I put that into 2 tablespoons of some sort of fat. I like 1 tablespoon oil, 1 tablespoon butter. And then what you do is you need to toast those ingredients. That enchilada sauce mix, it's got flour in there, and it's got a lot of seasonings, and those are fat-soluble seasonings. So when you toast these ingredients in hot fat, the flavors really wake up, they come to life, and toasted flour is just so much tastier than raw flour. So go ahead and toast it, and then you can start to add the water. You need about a cup of water for that amount of sauce mix. And what I did was I added 1/2 cup to start with, gave it a really good stir, a whisk, and then added the other 1/2 cup of water. And y'all, that's all there is to it. Now you have homemade enchilada sauce. And that took about 5 minutes to make the sauce. It's really delicious. It's so much better than anything you're going to be able to buy in a can on the grocery store shelf. This is the way to go as far as enchilada sauce. Hey y'all, I'll get right back to the video, I promise. But I wanted to tell you about an opportunity and then ask a favor of you, which I don't do like ever. So I hope you will indulge me this once. My company, Thrive Life, has issued a challenge for their consultants for the month of July. And it's a voluntary thing, you don't have to do it. But anyway, I told them I'm in, I want to do it. Each day they give you a task to do to help you stay engaged with your business and be intentional with your customers. And those are good things. But there's a few days that the challenge, it's going to be very difficult for me to do. So I'm going to ask for your help on this. The challenge that they have issued for Saturday, July the 12th, is very specific. And it is this. They want me to get a new consultant to join my team on Saturday, July the 12th, like on that specific day. So if you have been thinking about maybe becoming a consultant, if you're ordering food from me, or if you have been just watching my channel for a long time and thinking about ordering, this is your sign. Please do it. Please join me as a consultant on my team on Saturday, July the 12th. It's only $40 to join. It's $40, that's it. And if you join on that specific day, I am going to sweeten the pot. I'm going to offer you $20 back in Thrive credit, or that's free food credit, and I will put that in your account on Monday. Now, I wouldn't just ask you to do something that wasn't good for you. I'm not like that. So let me tell you real quick, there are perks to being a consultant. It's a great thing for anybody who's ordering the food. For the first 3+ months or so, you're going to be earning 20% of your own personal order back in free food credit. So whatever you order in the months of July, August, September, October, you're going to be getting 20% of that back in free food credit. There are no sales requirements. You never have to sell food to anybody else unless you want to. Now, I enjoy sharing the food. Y'all can probably tell that, but you don't have to do that. You could just do this for your own personal benefit, and that's totally fine. A lot of my consultants do that very thing. And you're welcome to join me anytime. I want you on my team. Join me, please join me. But for this specific perk that I'm offering, it's just going to be for Saturday, July the 12th. So please do consider it. I would really, really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and now we'll get back to the video. All right, so my beef enchilada filling has been sitting there for 10 minutes or so, just soaking up that water. I had added a cup of water to that. And look at it at this point. I mean, it has completely soaked up an entire cup of water. So I'm going to add half a cup more, and then I'm going to put some heat under it, bring that up to a simmer, stir it, and then we're just going to cook these ingredients and just make sure all of the beef especially is completely refreshed. There's no crunch left to it. And I simmered that for about 4 minutes on maybe a medium high or so. And after about 4 minutes, this is the texture that it's going to have. And then all you have to do is make a little well and add maybe a tablespoon of avocado oil. And then you're just going to saute these ingredients. So you're sauteing the beef, the vegetables, and of course the beans, which makes them more like refried beans. This is a fantastic filling for an enchilada. So the beef and the beans together, along with those vegetables, this is going to be a really good enchilada filling. All right, now it's time to assemble your enchiladas. We're just going to go ahead and roll them. Since I only had 6 corn tortillas, I have kind of a small skillet. And then into the bottom of the skillet, you'll put some of the enchilada sauce. And then let me show you how I fill the enchiladas. So I'm just grabbing a good amount of beef and bean filling, and then I'm topping that with some grated cheese. Now, I actually thought I had some grated cheese in my refrigerator, but I didn't. So no problem. I have Thrive Life grated cheddar and pepper jack. So what I did was I took about a cup of each of those and I just refreshed those in the refrigerator while I was making the beef filling and the sauce. So that's been in the fridge for probably at least 20 or 25 minutes at this point. And it was just perfect. It was completely refreshed and ready to be added to those enchiladas. So you want to put some filling, some cheese, roll it up, and then on goes the enchilada sauce. You just want to top all of your enchiladas so they're completely coated in that red sauce. And use all of it. It's really, really good. On the top goes some extra grated cheese. And then since this is a stovetop enchilada, you can just put that on probably a medium-low, cover it, let it go on medium-low for maybe 10 minutes, and it's just going to be melting the cheese. And like I said, if you'd rather put this in the oven, you could put that in a little casserole dish and put that in the oven and bake it for a little while instead. But y'all, these are fantastic enchiladas. Now, if you do the stovetop and you get a little bit of sticking, it's okay. They'll still come up. I think that putting a little bit of sauce underneath that tortilla helps to keep the tortilla from getting dried out. So here are our beautiful enchiladas. I just topped it with some sour cream, some fresh cilantro, just a few chips on the side. And yeah, isn't that beautiful? And let me tell you what, these were some of the best enchiladas I've ever had, period. Restaurant, homemade, whatever. These enchiladas are on fire. Really, really tasty. The beef in there is nice and flavorful. The beans make it kind of creamy and soft. The tortillas have a great texture. They hold together, but also easily you can cut them in order to eat them. The cheese in the middle and on the top is wonderful. And y'all, that sauce, it's the best enchilada sauce you'll ever have. This is a fantastic recipe. And yeah, that's a satisfying cheese pull right there. Like I said, there's enough filling for about 8 enchiladas. And depending on how hungry you are, it will feed between 3 and 4 people. And if you like Tex-Mex food, if you like beef enchiladas, if you like refried beans, you will love these enchiladas. They are absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend this recipe. Please, y'all, make this recipe. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like I mentioned, I have a couple of cookbooks. Books 1 and 2 are both available as a digital download, and book 1 is also available in print. I will link to all of those things below. This is cookbook number 1. It's in print form. I'm really close to getting cookbook number 2 ready to release to y'all. I'm very excited about that, so stay tuned there. All right, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate you. And don't forget, if you're willing to join me as a consultant, please do so. If I see your name in my back office on Saturday, July the 12th, I will be putting $20 of free food credit into your account on Monday. All right, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you. And until next time, y'all take care and keep thriving.